Amnesty International Nigeria has held a training program for 150 volunteers aimed at bolstering their advocacy interests across several Nigerian communities. The training, which was held in Abuja, is expected to unify and strengthen human rights advocacy. Participants at the event say the training is in line with the organization's global mission of safeguarding human rights and upholding international best practice in human rights issues.
Today we're engaging in Nigeria with volunteers and supporters that work with us to ensure that the work they do across different parts of Nigeria reaches the voiceless, in particular people in different communities, looking at different types of rights that are being violated, whether by individuals or state actors or non-state actors. Issues around freedom of expression, assembly, pushing for the rights of people, pushing to ensure that people are able to freely express themselves. People, when arrested, are not detained unduly because we have constitutional rights to be detained within a time frame of 24 to 48 hours, but also to ensure that people who are vulnerable, children, women, continue to enjoy their rights as citizens or as people who reside within Nigeria. So we have volunteers and supporters from all across the country to see how we can harness and ensure we network, continue to engage collaboratively with them in all the work that we do. We have well over 150 people seated here today, and our expectation from them is to improve their capacity in the work that they do. They're very vital. They're part of the chain of the work that we do. They do a lot of the field work with our people also who work with them in the field. And so our expectation is they pick up skills, knowledge, and then also network. What we've done is to bring all of them from across the country to see how they can collaborate in doing the work together and sharing knowledge, cross-learning across the country that would also help pushing for protection of human rights in Nigeria. We have a database of people who have registered with us as volunteers across the country. Selection is based on the work that you've been doing with us, and we're very neutral in selection. We don't select based on any sentiments of religion, ethnic group, but the fact that you've volunteered with us, you've registered with us, and you've worked with us for over a period of time, or you're even willing to work with us as the time goes on. And that's how we're able to select them to come from different parts of the country. Our volunteers are either students or workers, so it's difficult for us to regulate them, and they're actually volunteering. They're doing the volunteerism as the word means. So we really cherish them, and then of course we don't leave them to just do the work. We're concerned for their safety and their security. We're also concerned for their well-being, and we ensure that if they need more mentoring and engagement, we would come to that and discuss such issues.
I would say that 25 states are represented here. It will grow, and it's more like having people who have been championing our cause at the state level, bringing them here to have a synergy with what we do. Now we are having the priorities of Amnesty International being discussed. It's also for them to be able to identify the key initiatives or projects that they want to do at the state level, and also key it into what we do on the national level. And in a sense also that, apart from me just leading the conversation, just to manage the membership and also engagement, it's also for them to collaborate with me. For instance, when we have activities or programs or interventions or researches that we need to do, they have the knowledge, the basic knowledge that they can have in helping us, make our work better at the state level. I'll probably say that more like our footman soldiers. And imagine, having them here and having them to doing the step down at the state level. We are replicating, human rights, defenders, human rights activists, human rights, followers who would help us in pushing our message to the grassroots. And from here, we are going to see an expansion in the 36 states of the country.
One part of the highlight of the event has been the discussion in terms of their campaigns, what the organization really stands for, what it represents, and what it's actually doing. I feel it's actually going to be impactful on me as an individual relating to my area of work, having to talk to communities where I'm fully engaged with on what the organization does and what it stands for, providing more advocacy defending human rights is just something that we can't really shy away. We just have to give it our best, and we have to be involved in it in our everyday life. I'm an advocate, so I think it's just to carry on the initiative in terms of where it's been left off, what the organization has actually, the knowledge they've actually impacted. I think it's more or less of having to work with that and then trying to further push the advocacy and engagement.